back on the pine tree bedsheet here, continuing my games I've played 2019 for this month. And there's a ghostly presence on my bed. Where is it? Ah, there you are. Yeah, I'm going to talk about a game that came out on the 3DS this year, Yokai Watch 3. Where do I begin? Last year, I was actually questioning whether or not I should get this game because I was thinking, did I enjoy Yokai Watch 2? Because that's the thing. I was like, I couldn't remember a thing about it. It was a forgettable game. Now here's the thing: Yokai Watch 2 had like two versions, Fleshy Souls and Bony Spirits. I bought the Fleshy Souls version, and Yokai Watch 2 also had a third version called Dark Specters, which I didn't buy. Although I have thought about it. And now here we have is Yokai Watch 3. Now, Yokai Watch 3 actually had two versions in Japan, as well as a third version. You know, it's very similar to Pokemon that way. But due to the fact that Yokai Watch 2 had low sales, they didn't release Yokai Watch 3 in two versions. You know, in Japan it was like sushi and tempura version. I mean, if Yokai Watch 2 was successful, we would probably gotten like a hot dog and hamburger version of Yokai Watch 3, but that's not the case. I don't know, whoever was like translating Yokai Watch 3, they were thinking, hey, we need to it's like since Yokai Watch 2 was just such a sales failure, we might as well just sell Yokai Watch 3 in one version. Like, let's not bother selling two separate versions. So that's exactly what they did. They combined the two versions into one. Ugh. And I have to say, compared to Yokai Watch 3 and 2, compared to Yokai Watch 2, Yokai Watch 3 was a better game. Like, there are plenty of moments where I have laughed. There are plenty of moments that just made me facepalm. But there's just so many moments like, yeah, this is a really enjoyable game. So much so that, when I first played this game earlier this spring, like, it was back in March when I first bought it, I was like thinking, this is an underrated game for this year. Like, I get the feeling no one's going to put this on their top 10 2019 list. But you know what? I really appreciate this game. Yeah. It has some very interesting humor. Like there's a yokai in this game. He's like this blue guy, this big blue guy. Like, well, he's not big. He's round. He's a round blue guy texting on a cell phone with a tree on its head. And I couldn't pronounce his name at first until the game pronounced its name for me. And his name was Treater, a combination of tree and tweeter. When I heard that name, I just face palmed like, oh boy, we're in some funny names in this game. A tree tweeter, and there are some moments in this game I did laugh. And there was actually some moments that actually jump scared me. Like, well, that's actually kind of creepy. Who knew a game like Yokai Watch has moments that made me jump scare? Like, I was actually replaying this game on my 3DS, just earlier, and there was still a moment that jump scared. Like, I've seen this before. Why does this still jump scare me? But for a game that has been criticized, a few years ago, like when the first game came out, it was pretty much called a Pokemon ripoff. It is a very unique series. I mean, the only the only way it's similar to Pokemon is that Q Monster guy is right here, like Komasan here. And that's pretty much why it's called a Pokemon ripoff. But you know, everything about it is pretty much far from Pokemon. Like the way the monsters interact with the world, the battle mechanics, the way to obtain them. It's far from Pokemon. So, and that's what made me love the series. When I first played the first game years ago. But we're talking about Yokai Watch 3 here. You know, it's very unique in that you follow two characters. The male character, whose official name is Nate, and the female character, whose official name I believe is Haley. And you go back and forth. Like the character Nate, he goes to a place equivalent to USA. The game calls it BBQ. And the female character, you follow her in Springfield, which was taking place in like the first two Yokai Watch games. And you could go back and forth between these two characters in these two different locations. And there'll be moments where like you couldn't advance a certain character's plot until you pick something from another character's location. And they interact with each other. And there's also like a new feature like called Zombie Night, where you know at a stroke of midnight when you're playing a BBQ with the character Nate, you enter this zombie night where there are these zombies going around, and you have to sneak past them all, Metal Gear Solid style. you know, there's the music. Oh, the music is very catchy, especially the battle theme. Like the normal battle theme in this game, it's like they have a battle theme for the new yokai in this game called American Yokai. It's these American themed yokai. And it's like their battle theme is a very catchy tune. I think it's my favorite battle theme, in the series. It was like playing funny moments. There's a reference to like those mecha anime. I could have sworn there's a freaking JoJo reference in this game. Like it's in the post game. My memory is a bit fuzzy because it's been a while since I played this game. It was back in this spring when I played it. But yeah, it's one of the 3DS games I bought this year. There's another 3DS game I did buy this year as well, and I'm going to talk about later on this month. Oh, what else is there? But I can't think of anything. But I think this game is truly underrated. This series is underrated. And I guess it's best to finish off you know, this video. So you good folks out there, be good, stay positive, and Jabunion for Smash. I want this little guy in Smash.